My name's Ronan.
And my name's Alex. You join us here at Heathrow Terminal 3.
So the question is, there's 10 lounges here at Heathrow. I think we have access to 4, and the first part of this video is going to be about what lounge is best to spend your time in here at Terminal 3. We have over 8 hours available, so I'm sure we're going to be able to give them a test run for you. We are entering Heathrow Terminal 3. Here we are, heading straight to the lounges. If you are interested in our flight, we do have a video up next week, which will be the flight from Heathrow to Prague. So here we are, heading down to the American Airlines lounge, which is just straight past after duty free. You turn right. All the lounges are quite close for the One World lounges, so let's get going. So at Terminal 3 there's plenty of lounges to choose from, over 10 in total, and our first one today is the American Airlines lounge, and let's see how it's going. We're going to rate it on 3 different criteria, the lounges today. Number 1 is going to be staff friendliness, number 2 is going to be the food, and number 3 is going to be the facilities. So let's see how it goes, and let's see if I can even remember those statistics. This is just below the Virgin Lounge, and as I said, the American Airlines lounge.
So off to the American Airlines business class lounge in Terminal 3. So on entering the lounge, you've got this weird seating area on your left, and then you go into the main lounge area, which I don't find particularly inspiring. Lots of greys. To be fair, this could be any American lounge in the States, in all honesty. It's just very dull, it's not very inspiring, and I don't think really you'd want to spend longer than an hour or two here.
So here we are at the,
as you can see, the lounge when we arrived wasn't particularly busy. I'm guessing people are probably at the other lounges we visited. An okay range of soft drinks, and you can see there's a couple of juices there, as well as an okay alcohol selection. Nothing amazing, it was just okay, a bit meh really. Coffee machines as well, and then just behind all of that, as you can see there, cookies, fresh fruits, sandwiches, and a few side items. Again, nothing special, nothing really premium for a business class lounge.
So the lounge extends all the way down around the back where there's a quiet area, but again, rather dull. It reminds me of if you went to a private hospital. I can imagine this is what it looks like, because it just reminds me of a bit like a doctor's surgery without the food. But yeah, very clinical or very dull office. But yeah, so here we are, just going back over to now sort of the hot selection where there was some bread rolls and only 3 hot dishes. It was rather disappointing, really. And you can see from the images, or the video now, the food plated up, it was meh. And let's see what Alex thought about the lounge.
So join us here in the American business class lounge. Ronan's not particularly happy with the pasta, as apparently it's called. I've not tried any of this yet. Although I'm not quite sure what they're doing with the cucumber. Like, it's kind of like they've run out of it and they've tried to make it look like there's more available. But selection of breads, wedges, wrap things. They also had sandwiches as well without the crust on. But they're kind of sandwiches that you'd see if you ordered a really cheap afternoon tea. It's kind of those sort of sandwiches. So it's an okay selection, I guess, if this was the only lounge, but I'm hoping there's going to be some better options available in the other lounges that we visit a bit later on.
Here's the RA score, and for me it's 3 out of 5 on staff friendliness, 2 out of 5 on the food, and 3 out of 5 for the facilities.
And my score for staff friendliness, food and facilities all was a 2 out of 5, so 6 out of 15.
So here we go off to the Galleries Lounge. I have to say the walk to the Galleries Lounge has to be one of the most depressing walks in a terminal lounge. It's just corridor after corridor, very hospital-esque. You can certainly tell Heathrow Terminal 3 is one of the oldest terminals at Heathrow. So here we are at the British Airways business class, the Galleries Lounge at Terminal 3. It's a little bit interesting. You've got a guest services area here. I guess if there's flight delays or you need to change something, they're the people you go to. But the minute you walk into the club lounge, on your left you've got some drinks, and you've got plenty of seating here. Certainly a little mishmash of furniture. There's some really modern furniture, and then there's some other furniture which is a little bit sort of, can I say, retro. You come through into sort of what you see as the main part of the lounge. It's nice that all the windows face out, and also a lot of 2 tables, but you can also sit in a lot of these for 1s. There's a little kids zone. There was no one in there when we were there. And looking round, you've got some sort of more table-like chairs and tables. Brilliant part of the lounge, I have to say, is the Jude's ice cream. They have clearly some partnerships with Bottega. All I know is EasyJet serve it on board, so it can't be that fancy. Coming back through, you've got sort of a charging area if you had to work, and then you come down here and you've got more of a sort of bar lounge area, which seemed to have a lot more adults here. There was a little sleeping area nearby. You look along, plenty of spirits. I'm talking lots of spirits, which is great to see. Nothing too premium, but you've got sort of 3 different types of Ciroc, plenty of whiskies, plenty of wine, which sort of is quite good to see in a lounge, and some nibbly snacks. So we decided to take a seat in what I'd class as a throne chair, and this is what you could have picked up on the hot section. And let's go and see what I thought on the day of the food. Club lounge or club lounge here at Terminal 3 for British Airways. I've got to say this food selection here is a lot better than the American lounge. I've got a nice pie, crusty top. Hear that? Can't taste the mushrooms. And then there's potato here, but that looks a bit bland. But yeah, the drink selection here is also a lot better. Alex has got the jumbo cod stick, so we'll see how it goes. So initially I was very excited to have some ice cream and sort of a cake and a scone, but it is very dry, the cake and the scone. Ice creams look lovely though.
So even though it's a wet and relatively cold summer's day here, the ice creams have gone down very well. I mean, there's only 2 left now, and I think Rayna was saying that there was a full selection earlier, so there we go.
So here's the RA score for the British Airways Galleries Lounge at Terminal 3. I went with 4 for staff friendliness, as there was plenty of staff around, 4 for food, as it was great British grub, and facilities number 3, as there wasn't enough toilets for my liking.
I went with 3 for 3 for my score. There was more staff around, which was good to see. There was staff proactively clearing plates away. Food wasn't so much better than the American lounge, and facilities. I think the facilities were okay, nothing amazing. I mean, the toilets were on the small side, but for an airport lounge, this I think just does the job, the basic job. So yeah, 3 out of 5 for that. We are at the Cathay Pacific Business Class Lounge, and already this feels a lot nicer than the 2 other lounges. Definitely feeling and looking very oriental indeed. So here we go into the noodle bar and dining area. You can go up to the noodle bar, you basically tell them what you want, they give you a buzzer, you sit down and it buzzes and you get your food when it's ready. So it's all nice and fresh. To the side of that, there's a separate area which has a small buffet. As you can see here, lots of different options. More Asian cuisine as you'd expect, with fruit, cookies, and bread, and I think that's soup as well in there, and the desserts were kept in a fridge, so they were cool.
So then past the buffet you come round to sort of a lounging area with plenty of views out over the apron, and 2-7 left at Heathrow, although all the seats were taken, which was a little bit disappointing really, as it would have been a great place to sit. You've got some sort of working pods here, and just remember at this point, if you are enjoying the video, do click that subscribe and like button, and if you're really enjoying it, do click the bell icon to hear all the notifications of our videos. We have got a JAL first class flight coming up in the next couple of months. We headed over to the bar area. You can pause here if you want to see what drinks they do, but it's all fresh cocktails, which in my view is just fabulous, and it brings this lounge up an extra level in how you feel as a customer. After that, we headed back down to the table and ordered something from the noodle bar, and it was absolutely fabulous. And you'll see what we thought of it very shortly, but let me tell you, it's one to stay tuned for. In the Cathay Pacific Lounge, really good so far. You'd have seen on some of the shots before, you basically order, they've got like a proper restaurant, this is like a restaurant, isn't it? It's basically a restaurant. Yeah. Full bar, and we're just going to try something. We ordered a Cosmopolitan.
Okay, ready in like a minute, the food. So here we go, everyone.
So here we go. We've gone for the Korean chicken and dim sum. So, okay, so we I just went up to get some bread, and I actually went and got a cheesecake that was available, and oh my gosh, you go down into this. Look at that. Ooh. It's on the heavier side of cheesecakes, but I don't mind that. But it's just really nice, refreshing after a very spicy Korean chicken. So let's delve back into this. So far, Qantas is going to have to do a lot to beat this. So here we are, just still in the cafe lounge. The food was, I'd say, an 8 out of 10 for
Restaurant style, wasn't it?
Yeah, restaurant style, as you'd have seen, absolutely fabulous. Just on to the second drink in the cafe lounge, but the sixth drink overall.
I'm slowly catching up with Rowan, I'm slowly getting there.
Which is a daiquiri. Quite refreshing. Very, it's like the... Is that bitter or...?
It's like a dog.
Just got a very sort of... It's tangy. That's the word, tangy, like sour. Refreshing, yeah. Very shortly we have got guests arriving on the channel, so looking forward to introducing you to the guests on the channel. But we'll show you more of that once we're... with them. But yeah, I think, have you got anything else about the cafe lounge?
I'd say it's just like a big restaurant with kind of, I mean, there's some quite, I mean, if you're by yourself, there's some quite nice seating areas for you to like put your feet on and stuff like, they've got like footrests to put your feet on and all that. Nice that they have a bar as well. I think that's a nice added touch and makes it a lot more premium as opposed to self-serve.
Yeah.
I think in terms of decor as well, quite nicely done. I'd say very, I guess, probably Asian inspired in terms of interior design, which is probably expected. But yeah, no, we're enjoying it here, aren't we? And the service as well in terms of taking away things literally is instantly. So yeah, no complaints from me so far. And as I said in the previous videos, I guess, does Qantas live up to the...
that everyone talks about.
I mean, is that going to be better than here, I suppose? So let's
see.
We'll find out shortly. The one really good feature that we, I think, missed in the BA Lounge and the American... Actually, the American Lounge did have plug sockets, but they were kind of on the window area from what I saw anyway. But here in the restaurant area, I think the other areas have plug sockets as well, but there's... You won't be able to see it very well on the video, but there's a UK plug socket followed by 2 standard USB sockets on this side and as well as the other side, so plenty of options for charging your devices before you catch a flight.
Here we are in the Cathay Pacific Lounge, our special guest here, which is Jamie Whittingham. If you do follow him on Twitter, it's
ITX Jamie.
ITX Jamie. So...
Full names?
yeah. LinkedIn's Jamie Whittingham. But we're on to the 8th drink or 7th drink?
I feel like this glass is smaller than everyone else's.
Yeah, that's fine though, you said.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so is it your 8th or this is 7th?
I think it's like the 13th.
No, it's 7th drink, the 7th drink. So we'll have a sip. Lovely, and we'll see you in the Qantas Lounge. So for me, staff friendliness 5 out of 5, food 5 out of 5. It was fabulous having the noodle bar, and facilities 4 out of 5. This is going to be a really hard lounge to beat, and there were some little improvements. I'd love to have a few more seats near the windows.
So staff friendliness 5 out of 5 for me. Food 4 out of 5. I think the buffet area could have had a few more options. Facilities 4 out of 5. The toilets were nice, and yeah, that's my score for the Cathay Pacific Lounge.
So here we are entering the Qantas Business Class Lounge at Terminal 3. This is another one that people say is very good. So it's going to be a battle, I think, of the Qantas and Cafe Lounge. What I love is the decor in here. It's so beautiful. Here's the gin bar downstairs. You had a sit-down menu across the whole lounge, and you can pause here to see what options there were on the menu, which were all fabulous, may I say. So this is the downstairs area of the lounge. There's not many views from here, so don't get excited if you're a AvGeek viewer for lounges. But they just sort of had some strawberries, cakes. One thing, the strawberries had, I think, more flies than the whole of Heathrow around them, so I didn't really touch them. Here's Alex and Jamie just sipping on some Australian sparkling wine, whilst I headed upstairs to see what the rest of the lounge had to offer. You head up into this sort of grand area, and in front of you, you have the Qantas cocktail bar, which does quite a lot of cocktails, and I have to say, it was delicious, the one I had, which you will see later on in the video. You turn right, just so much more seating. You can really tell this lounge has been built for an Airbus A380. But plenty of seating. Got to say, it did feel a little bit dull up here, and the lounge seemed to be very noisy. I'm not sure if that's just because of the people in there, but it seemed to just reverberate noise around the room. But here we are. Yep, there were some few hot options. A very, very small limited buffet upstairs, some TV seating area, and then you head further down and you can go left to the toilets and showers, which you could book on the way in. So here we are, going back downstairs. As you can see, Jamie and Alex are having a little giggle to themselves. I guess it's over the sparkling wine. But yep, the beef ragu was beautiful. The sparkling wine was also chilled, and as you can tell, very bubbly. I did say I didn't have any of the strawberries, but I clearly did. I'm not sure where the flies were, but there were flies anyway. But yep, here we are, back upstairs at the cocktail bar, and here we are downing a Sun Dream, and it was beautiful. So here we go, the VAR score for the Qantas Lounge. Staff friendliness, 5 out of 5, really Australian hospitality. Food, 4 out of 5, if it wasn't for them flies it would be a 5. And facilities, 4 out of 5, just because there wasn't many apron views.
Well, I've matched Ronan here. I've gone for the same scores, 5, 4 and 4. Again, the food would have been higher if there wasn't loads of flies flying around, which was quite off-putting in all honesty.
The VAR score totals are, with the Cathay Lounge 1 point ahead of Qantas at 27 out of a total of 30. I scored that 1 point more. Alex did score Qantas and Cathay the same. But why did I enjoy the Cathay Lounge that 1 extra point? For me, I think it was just the more relaxed atmosphere, the drink service. I did prefer the drinks in the Cathay Lounge, and I did find the food a little bit better and a little bit more different other than pasta. And Alex, obviously, as it came with Cathay winning, what would you say was something better that they did in the Cathay Lounge compared to the Qantas Lounge?
I think the atmosphere overall was a lot better in the Cathay Lounge. I mean, the Qantas Lounge just upstairs, and obviously the fruit flies as well, were the things that I think scored the Qantas Lounge down. So yeah, I think if it's neck and neck between those two, yeah, the Cathay Lounge wins.